Welcome to today's deep dive. When you picture a brand new multi-million-dollar helicopter, you probably imagine this luxury VIP transport, leather seats, executives flying over gridlock traffic.
Yeah, champagne in the back, totally. But today we are unpacking the official release materials for Airbus's new H140 helicopter, and it is something completely different.
Right, launched in March 2025, and our mission today is to really dig into these specs because this is the first totally new Airbus model in almost a decade.
Exactly, and it is definitely not for billionaires. We're looking at a purpose-built flying intensive care unit.
Which is wild to think about because, if we are talking about an airborne ICU, the very first thing I think about is space. This is a 3-ton class helicopter, and doing CPR or managing an IV line in a cramped chopper sounds like an absolute nightmare.
Oh, it really is. In older models, they have these obstructed floors or, narrow side doors. You end up having to maneuver a stretcher at really awkward angles.
Yeah, which seems super dangerous.
It is. It's dangerous for the patient and incredibly slow for the crew. So Airbus actually collaborated directly with Helicopter Emergency Medical Services, or HEMS operators, to build this specifically around the patient.
Okay, so looking at the schematics they released, Airbus highlights this 1.28 meter high cabin and a completely flat floor running straight back to these really big rear clamshell doors.
Right.
But I have to push back a little here. 1.28 meters still sounds pretty tight to me. Is this just about making a slightly bigger cabin than their older models? Or does this geometry fundamentally change the kind of medicine you can do midair?
It fundamentally changes it, yeah. Because they didn't just design an aircraft and then, cram medical gear into it later. That flat floor and wide rear access mean a medical team can literally slide a stretcher straight in.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, and they can seamlessly configure life support with unrestricted 360-degree access during flight. It comfortably fits 6 passengers, accommodating full intensive care units and even those bulky transport incubators securely.
So it turns a transport vehicle into an active trauma bay.
Exactly.
But a spacious airborne trauma bay isn't going to do much good if the ride is violently shaking while someone is trying to do a delicate procedure.
Right, or if the pilot can't hold a steady hover over a rescue site.
Yeah.
Stability is basically the great engineering bottleneck of emergency aviation.
Right.
So to solve that vibration issue, Airbus took the 5-blade bearingless main rotor from their older H145 model and adapted it for the H140.
Wait, bearingless, what does that actually mean for the patient in the back?
So traditional rotors have all these complex mechanical hinges and bearings that vibrate intensely as they spin. A bearingless rotor uses flexible composite materials to handle the bending and twisting of the blades.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, fewer moving parts means a drastically smoother ride, giving paramedics the physical stability they need for precision tasks.
Right, less metal clanking around up top equals a smoother ride below.
Right.
And it uses twin Safran Arias 2E engines, right? 700 shaft horsepower each.
Exactly, plenty of power. But reading through the Blue Compter research program notes, the most fascinating innovation is actually at the back of the aircraft. They gave the H140 a T-tail.
Yeah, this blew my mind. They took the horizontal stabilizer, that little horizontal wing at the back, and moved it way up to the very top of the tail rotor.
Right, above the fenestron, which is their fully enclosed tail rotor design.
And the materials say moving that little wing up high gives the helicopter up to 80 kilograms of additional lift when hovering for absolutely zero extra engine power.
Zero extra power, yeah.
It is basically an aerodynamic cheat code. How does simply moving a tail upward literally hack the physics of hovering?
Well, think about a traditional helicopter hovering. The massive downwash of air from the main rotor slams directly down into that horizontal stabilizer on the lower tail.
Oh, so it's actively pushing the back of the aircraft down.
Exactly. The engines have to burn extra fuel just to fight their own downward force.
So it's like trying to push a door open while someone is blowing a giant fan against the other side.
That is a perfect analogy. By moving that stabilizer up into a T-shape, you get the door out of that heavy downward airflow, you eliminate the penalty.
And you just get 80 kilograms of free lift back.
Precisely. And in emergency medicine, 80 kilograms of free lift is an entire extra paramedic or a massive piece of life-saving medical machinery.
So why should you, listening to this, care about an aircraft slated for its first delivery in 2028? Well, it's because by utilizing advanced Helionix avionics to drastically reduce the pilot's workload, it makes high-stakes emergency transport safer and more reliable.
Yeah, the pilot can just focus on navigating treacherous conditions.
While the medical team focuses entirely on keeping the patient alive, The machine gets out of the way so the medicine can happen.
Meaning this highly engineered piece of machinery could quite literally save your life one day.
It really could, and it leaves you with an interesting final thought to mull over. As autonomous flight technologies rapidly advance, will the next generation of these flying emergency rooms even need a cockpit?
That is the big question.
Right. Or will the entire aircraft simply become a fully automated flying robotic surgery suite?